And now we know. And now we definitely know. Let's see what's happening.
Is that true?
From who?
I don't know. I guess the Department of Justice. I don't know.
The House Oversight Committee and the Government Reform Committee. That was what was reported. That I think it was early on in like January, February, that he was asked to turn over like emails and different things. And
yeah, there is no oversight that the Oversight Committee has over my husband or me. So why would you submit documents to an entity that has nothing to do with you?
There you go.
I hope she ends up in jail. I don't say it that often, and I don't mean in an American jail.
He's not too happy about it, right? He's not happy.
There's just been a focus on the rapid increase in your household wealth
what do you
tied to your
expect,
husband.
right? What are you playing for, man? Come on. We need to see this, dude. We definitely need to see this.
60 Minutes Overtime.
Overtime. OT.
Mr. President, thank you for doing this.
Otis.
I'm glad you're safe. I am glad
too.
that everyone is safe.
Everyone's
How are you
happy
doing?
with that.
I'm doing well. It was quite an evening. It was a very difficult thing to watch, frankly, but doing very well.
Mr. President, do you know if you were the target of the gunman?
I don't know. It sounded to me, I read a manifesto. He's radicalized. He was a Christian, a believer, and then he became an anti-Christian.
My
he
goodness.
had a lot of change. He's been going through a lot.
See what happens.
Based on what he wrote. His brother complained about him, and I think reported him to the police, and his sister likewise complained about him. His family was very concerned. He was probably a pretty sick guy.
I want to get to all of those details and also walk through this, what happened last night. But first, this appears to be the third attempted assassination on your life. The first in Butler, the second, of course, on the golf course in Florida.
Third.
Why do you think so many people may be trying to kill you?
So I've said it, and I've said it numerous times, and I've actually, because of the position I'm in, I've done quite a bit of research into the word assassination.
Jody Porter has joined the chat and says she is an absolute idiot and thinks we are all stupid. Absolutely. How could she? How could she?
Terrible word. And they go after consequential presidents. They go after presidents that do things. If you look at what I've done, we've turned this country around. We've taken a country that was actually a dead country. It was dying very rapidly, and it's the hottest country anywhere in the world.
Hottest.
We had a skirmish, a war, whatever you want to call it, with Venezuela. We won that very decisively, and we now have a great relationship with Venezuela. It's been a very profitable relationship, and we're in Iran right now. Other presidents should have done it, but they never chose to do it. They should have. They made a terrible mistake by not doing it. It's tougher now than it would have been 10 years ago or even 5 years ago, because they had thousands and thousands of missiles and everything else. If we didn't do the B-2 bomber attack, that alone was a big deal. The killing of Soleimani, which I did in my first term, was a big deal. But when you're consequential, when you do things, a lot of things, and things that work out very well for our country, Abraham Lincoln was assassinated. McKinley was assassinated. McKinley made the country very rich. People don't realize that. Then Teddy Roosevelt went out and spent the money that was made by McKinley, but he was very consequential, actually, but he was assassinated. So
You mentioned, Mr. President, consequential, and your policies are also controversial. Is that part of it?
Well, I don't think that way. I don't think in terms of what they are. I just think of what they are for the country. For instance, I inherited the worst border we've ever had in the history of our country.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Unfortunately.
Where 25 million people came in, 25 million people at least. And many of them were from hardcore criminals, and they were drug dealers, and they were from prisons. They emptied out prisons into our country. They emptied out mental institutions, insane asylums into our country. And I don't know if that's controversial to say we have to move those people out, but we have. But it is from the standpoint, you're doing something, and you're doing something that's good. Things like men playing in women's sports, I'm against that. things like transgender for everyone. I'm against that. There's so many things that I'm against. I don't think they're controversial. I think the other side is controversial, but I do a lot of things and I get things done. And, you know, we're respected now as a country all over the world. And some people love that, but some people probably don't.
Mr. President, I'm sure you've now had the opportunity to see some of the pictures of what happened last night, and I want to walk through that.
Sure.
It was just around 8:30 p.m. You are sitting there next to the First Lady. The entertainer named Oz Perlman is talking to you. He's known as the Mentalist. When did you know something was wrong?
Right around that point. In fact, you can see the expression on the First Lady's face, and your president of the evening, chairman or president or both, who was doing a great job, by the way.
Weijia Jiang,
your
CBS
associate,
News.
yeah, who's a terrific person. And she was, you know, she had this big smile. I mean, they were, you know what they were talking about? They were asking.
Yo, Jaden. Roy, thank you for your chat. In what way, you're asking me what my opinion is on Myron Gaines. Thank you for the chat, buddy. Just so y'all know, we're going live every single day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, throw in some super chats, become a member. Let's see what we can learn from POTUS.
The name of Caroline's child that he didn't know, I guess. But
Your
he was
press
able to-
secretary is expecting, and he was trying to guess
That's
the
right.
baby's name.
That's right. And that was the question. That was what he was actually able to get it. I'm not sure I'm a believer in this, but he was able to get it. And the First Lady and your associate were amazed. You could see and that
Shock
was,
on their faces.
It wasn't the shock about something outside. But right after that, we heard a big bang, and it was either a gunshot or it was a tray of dishes, which happens a lot in ballrooms. And I was hoping it was a tray, but it wasn't.
You mentioned the First Lady. Her face, she looked very alarmed. Was she scared?
Well, I don't want to say, and people don't like having it said that they were scared, but certainly, I mean, who wouldn't be when you have a situation like that? By that time, I think she realized ahead of time that that was more of a bullet than it was a tray. And she was, I looked at her face just a little while ago before I came. I saw the scene. They played it for me in, you know, pretty good close-up. And she looked very upset about what just took place, yeah.
Who wouldn't
Why
be
not?
upset?
You see the security moving quickly,
Right.
within seconds, grabbing the vice president by his coat, lifting him up, bringing him out. Then the counter assault comes in. Took 10 seconds for them to flank you, Mr. President, and then
Pretty quick.
20 seconds to get you out. It looked chaotic. At one point, you were down. What was happening?
Well, what happened is it was a little bit me. I wanted to see what was happening, and I wasn't making it that easy for him. I wanted to see what was going on. And by that time, we started to realize maybe it was a bad problem, different kind of a problem, bad one, and different than what would be normal noise from a ballroom, which you hear all the time. And I was surrounded by great people, and I probably made them act a little bit more slowly. I said, wait a minute, let me see, wait a minute. So, you know, I'm telling guys.
Just at that moment where it looks like you go sort of down with the service,
Well,
you were
they
telling
asked
them
me-
to wait?
Well, no, what happened is then I started walking with them. I started walking.
Mangus 8417 says, God bless Trump. That's right, buddy. That's right.
And they said, please go down on the floor. So I went down, and First Lady went down also, but we were asked to go down by the agents as I was walking. In other words,
They
I was-
wanted you almost to crawl
I was
out.
standing up, pretty much. I was standing up and then turned around the opposite direction and started pretty much walking out, pretty tall, a little bent over because I'm not looking to be standing too tall. And but I was walking out. It was about halfway there, and they said, please go down to the floor, please go down to the floor. So I dropped to the floor.
We just had a pin at comment for a sec. Australian 03 says front security is useless. That guy ran like Sonic. Man, That guy was just so fast, so fast. My goodness, my goodness.
So did the First Lady.
What was your thought at that moment? What did the First Lady say?
Well, my thought was, I've been through this before a couple of times, and she has not, to this extent, she handled it great. I mean, she's very strong, smart. She got it. She knew what was happening. She listened. I did too, by the way.
Because this was the first time
when they said drop down, that meant trouble. And obviously, I'm the president, and I listened to what they said. Please drop down, sir. Please drop down. So I was walking halfway, and then I dropped down at the final because we had a little ways to go where you're exposed to the ballroom surroundings. And then I got up and.
How frightening do you think that would be if it actually happened? There's some conspiracy theories happening around saying maybe this was all just a theater. And just imagine if it was real, how worrying it would be. And if it's a theater, does everyone know about it or only a few people know about it? So it's a wild, wild thing to think about, right? And we're going live every day at 2026. So make sure you like, subscribe, become a member. Throw in a super chat.
We went to a hold room for a while, and I tried to get them to...
Backwoods Hillbilly has joined the chat and says, well, he needs his ballroom. Absolutely.
Continue the event, if possible.
You wanted to go back in.
I did, I really did, because I don't like to have a criminal or a sick person or somebody, whoever he is, you'll figure it out. I mean, I think we're already figuring out he's a man with a lot of problems. But you don't want to have somebody like this, essentially attacking our Constitution, attacking
Definitely
our country, changing events that are, it's an important event. It was a very
night celebrating the First Amendment and the freedom of the press.
That's right, exactly. And this was a record setter. I mean, this was a very big, that dinner had some problems for the last 9 years, and I didn't help them. And this time I went, and I felt really good being there. There was a great camaraderie. I wasn't sure what the response. It was, a lot of press, a lot of media. And when I walked in, I got a very nice applause. I wasn't sure. I said, told my wife, I said, I may walk in and they may give me a hard time, or I may walk in, let's see what happens. And I walked in and got very nice, I think they were happy to see me there, actually. And I can tell you, there's
absolutely
the biggest impact that I saw in the entire evening was, and I say this being somebody that's had a lot of, let's say we've argued a little bit to get things that I want done. I fight for a border, and they fight for an open border, and we have a lot of differences.
You've got some tough words for the press in the back.
There was tremendous. By this time the event had taken place, people were starting to feel safe. There was tremendous camaraderie. I mean, I saw Democrats, I saw senators, I saw congressmen and women. I saw people that weren't necessarily on my side.
Anthony says scared, respectful, if that would happen. There you go. And the lady ran.
From the other party, mostly, pretty much the Republicans are on my side, so I'm not that, surprised. And they were going, way to go, there was spirit in that room. I mean, it was like the whole country was together. It was
Brilliant.
Pretty amazing. It made a big impression. It was very nice to see.
Do you think this will change your relationship with the press?
All he does is win. That's right, Mangus. That's right.
Yes.
Well, look, for whatever reason, we disagree on a lot of subjects.
We got Down Syndrome ET saying Trump is a J-word shill. My oh my. Do you guys agree with that?
We talk about crime. I'm very strong on crime. It seems like the press isn't. It's not so much the press, it's the press plus the Democrats, because they're almost one and the same. It's like the craziest thing. I have the strongest border we've ever had in the country, where, as you know, it said 0 people for 9 months came into our country through our southern border. We have a very tough border.
0.
Before me, 25 million people came in. I mean, whether it's 20 or 25 or 30, but they say 25 million people came in. 0 people. We have people coming in legally.
Can I ask you something?
But,
You said
but
something.
the other side doesn't like that. There are things that I like that I think are very standard. I want women to be able to play women. I don't want men in women's sports. And
well said.
For whatever
Absolutely.
reason, the other side likes men in women's sports. So when you say get along,
but that's the other side. That's
I don't
not
think
the
I could
press.
ever. No, but I don't think I could ever change my feelings on certain policies. I want strong borders. They want open borders. There's such a difference.
Can I ask you, Mr. President?
I will say this though: after the event, meaning it looked like things were good. We knew he was caught. I was given the information immediately. There was a camaraderie that you just have not seen in a while. It's very nice to see.
Mm-hmm. The President, you, Mr. President, the Vice President, the Speaker of the House, the Secretary of State, Secretary of Hegseth, almost the entire line of presidential succession was in that ballroom. Who was the designated survivor?
Well, first of all, I have to say, it's not a safe ballroom. I'm building a safe ballroom.
He is gonna build the safest ballroom in the world. It's gonna be the safest. The safest.
And one of the reasons I'm building it is exactly what happened last night. We're building a room right there. If you walk out and move 20 yards to the left, you'll be right at the entrance to the ballroom.
Mr. Boston is in the chat. That's right. We're back. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat. I love you. The Lord loves you.
And that ballroom is being built on the safest piece of property in this country, probably one of the safest pieces of land in the world. We have...
But that's owned, that's the White House. The White House Correspondents' Dinner can't use White House property.
It's able to be used by certainly the White House. It says the White House Correspondents. Well, that's the White House press. I'm sure that it's available. You know, it's up to the president, but that would be made available. And this has bulletproof glass. This has, you know, this is the highest level of security. Also, very importantly, I could have built suites on top. I could have done a lot of things. And I said, no, this has to be pure. This has to be where people stay off property and they go through one very impactful, very strong entrance, one very powerful entrance. There's no games with this. This is the best, highest. This has all sorts of security equipment at levels that you could never have in a regular ballroom.
There you go.
And we're ahead of schedule. We're right on budget, ahead of schedule. I wish it could be even sooner, but we're months ahead of schedule. But it doesn't open till 28. So, that means you have another season and a half to go.
Right.
But this is exactly why the military, and this is exactly...
How nice of Trump to build this for himself and future presidents. What a nice guy. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Throw in a super chat, become a member.
Exactly why Secret Service and all law enforcement want it, because you have maybe 1,000 hotel rooms above the ballroom we were in last night. And I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying in terms of maximum security, it's not the best thing. You can do it, but you can have problems like this. They have an elevator that comes down from the rooms. It's very close to the ballroom, which makes sense. So we're doing something that's going to have a tremendous impact on solving this problem.
In that video, you can see the gunman running through the metal detectors, and he fired off 1 or 2 rounds.
His speed was rather incredible, actually. He was like a blur.
How did he get that close with the place swarming with security?
I will say, look, I say it because I'm a big fan of the people of law enforcement. And, some of these people, they may be crazy, but they're not stupid, and they figure things out. He ran 45 yards, they say, and he just went to it, and then, boom, he popped through it. A thing like that could happen. I would say this, having the equipment on the outside of the building maybe is better than having it on the inside of the building. Sometimes that's tough. Sometimes it's horrendous weather. Sometimes it's pouring, it's raining. Lots of things happen. But maybe last night was actually quite nice. The weather was beautiful. So maybe something like that has to take place. I can only say that from the moment they realized that he ran like, I think the NFL should sign him up. He was fast.
There you go.
When you look at it on tape, it's almost like a blur.
Right.
But it was amazing, because as soon as they saw that, you could see them draw their guns. They were so professional. aimed their guns, and then they took them down immediately.
John Anthony F77 jumping in on the chat and saying, why are so many people mentally unstable today? No idea. How you doing, Terry? Good to see you. Maybe it's because the POTUS brings certain reactions out of people. You never know.
The doors were sealed, the room was sealed, the ballroom itself, where the people were, and they really.
And we're going live every day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications.
I think they did a great job.
I was in the room, not far from you, Mr. President, could hear what sounded like gunshots or commotion.
Right.
People nearby could smell the gunpowder. Everybody hit the floor. There were a number of people who were very, very scared.
Yeah.
How worried were you that there were going to be injuries?
I wasn't worried. I understand life. We live in a crazy world. You can really enhance your chances of having a perfect situation, but sometimes things will happen. I didn't want to see what was happening because, the president. In one way, I guess I should be hiding. In another way, I want to see if I can be helpful. But I did watch because I could see what was going on at the door. I also saw a lot of very strong, physically strong, really attractive law enforcement people come through those doors. And frankly, it made me feel very safe, very, very safe. There was nobody going to get by them. And this was at the very back of the ballroom, looking at the back of the ballroom. Big
The
room.
counter-assault team that comes in.
Yeah, they were very impressive. I think they were very impressive. I think the whole operation was very impressive. The only thing you could say is maybe they could move that counterpoint out deeper. In other words, move it to the outside of the building.
Let's talk about that. Mr. President, I wonder how much has the Secret Service and the FBI briefed you about this suspect, Cole Thomas Allen? Have you read what a senior U.S. official is describing to us as a manifesto?
Yeah.
Did you know that he emailed it to family members?
We found all of that out this morning.
Right before the attack.
Yeah, we found that out this morning, and the family members were concerned. I think the brother called up the police. I think the sister may have called the police. The parents were rather devastated. He lived with the parents. I saw the parents last night on television opening the door. I assume that was his parents. Look, you have sick people, and you have to mitigate the risk. But some of these sick people, it's amazing. They're very sick, but they're also, in some cases, very, very smart. He went to great school. I can tell you the person in Butler, I don't know if you ever looked at his academic credentials, he had almost 1,600 in his college boards. 1,600. Nobody has. I mean, it's the upper 99.9 percentile or something, and he was a crazy person, but a smart crazy person. I think the law enforcement did a great job last night.
Let me ask you.
I guess if they didn't, I wouldn't be here. But
there you go.
I think they really did a great job. Now, can you make adjustments? We're also learning. Can you make adjustments? I think the only adjustment would be you move your security equipment further away. But it was about 50 yards away. 50 yards is a lot of yards. Now, when a guy's running at that speed, he was a very fast person. And he got him by a little bit by surprise, but that didn't matter because he was totally subdued very shortly after he passed that one point.
The so-called manifesto is a stunning thing to read, Mr.
Yo, Shilhan, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
President. He appears to reference a motive in it. He writes this quote, "Administration officials, they are targets." And he also wrote this, "I am no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes." What's your reaction to that?
Well, I was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would, because you're horrible people. Horrible people. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
Do you think he was referring to you?
Excuse me. I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap from some sick person. I got associated with all stuff that has nothing to do with me. I was totally exonerated. Your friends on the other side of the plate are the ones that were involved with, let's say, Epstein or other things. But I said to myself, I'll do this interview and they'll probably, I read the manifesto, as a sick person, but you should be ashamed of yourself reading that, because I'm not any of those things.
Mr. President,
and
these are the gunman's words.
Excuse me. You shouldn't be reading that on 60 Minutes. You're a disgrace. But go ahead, let's finish.
He looked her right in the eye and he says, "You are a disgrace, dude." But let's go.
The interview.
The other thing that he wrote in the other thing in the manifesto that I think is worth looking at in terms of determining his motive is he had been staying at the hotel since Friday. He checked in, he said he had cased the place, and he wrote, "What the hell is the Secret Service doing?" And he wrote this quote, "I expected security cameras at every bend, bugged hotel rooms, armed agents every 10 feet, metal detectors out the wazoo. What I got..."
Out the what? All right. She just reads it. She reads it. Is Gamer Guy throwing in some knowledge in the chat? All right, buddy. All right. Thanks for the chats. My goodness. Yo, Little T says, "Strong woman, she didn't flinch." Meanwhile, he insulted her. Yeah, absolutely right. So we've got a lot of things happening in the chat, but it's so surprising. 87% of you say men should not compete against women in women's sports. And so I guess 87% of the chat agrees with Donald Trump. 100%. 100%. 87% of you agree with Donald Trump. 100% on that issue.
That is nothing. He wrote, like, this level of incompetence is insane. Sir, you have already had two attempted...
Well, he was pretty incompetent, too, because he got caught. And he got caught pretty easily. So I'd say he was pretty incompetent, too. I could take any event having to do with security or anything else. I can always find fault.
We got Diddy Dam's Diddy Oil. William joining the chat. Salty Alaskan, what would you do if you were a moderator? Would like to know, buddy.
No matter what, I can take a baseball team that won the game 18-0 and say they should have played better. Those guys did a good job last night. They did a really good job. Now, do they make adjustments? They do. They learn. They make adjustments. We're living in a different world with the internet than we had years ago. But even years ago, it was very dangerous.
Leon jumping in on the chat saying, 87% of the time it works 100% of the time.
Dangerous. I mean, just ask Honest Abe Lincoln. Pretty dangerous. And but we are living a very, the internet, I think maybe more than anything else, it's radicalized some people. It's made people mentally sick. It's also a great thing. It's a phenomenal thing. We're the leader in it. We're the leader in AI. It's a great thing, but you'll always find problems. Mm-hmm. But it's a different age. It's a very different time.
Mm-hmm. I mentioned that because, again, as his motive, you brought this up, he had social media accounts that had anti-Trump and anti-Christian rhetoric.
You should read. Why don't you read all the anti-Trump? Why don't you read it? You just did, so why don't you read it?
Well, he had a lot of anti-Christian rhetoric. He was part of a group called the Wide Awakes. He had attended a No Kings protest in California.
No Kings.
What did security tell you about what may have been his motives?
The reason you have people like that is you have people doing no kings. I'm not a king. What I am, if I was a king, I wouldn't be dealing with you.
Well, bam! If I was a king, I wouldn't be dealing with you. What would happen? What would happen?
No, I'm not a king. I get it. I don't laugh. I see these no kings, which are funded just like the Southern Law was funded. You saw all that. Southern Law is financing the KKK and lots of other radical, terrible groups. And then they go out and they say, "Oh, we've got to stop the KKK."
William dropping some clown words, saying, "You have never seen me read a speech because I cannot read." From none other than Gavin Newsom.
Okay, and yet they give him hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars. It's a total scam run by the Democrats. It shows you that, like Charlottesville was all funded by the Southern Law. That was a Southern Law deal too. And it was done to make me look bad, and it turned out to be a total fake. It basically was a rigged election. This was a part of the rigging of the election. And that's what you really should be doing. I mean, I hope one of your...
Mr. One Boss has joined the chat and says the Sea Ensor ship is comparable to Sea Hyena at this point. Absolutely accurate, especially with certain platforms. Absolutely. What happened to freedom of speech, man?
60-minute episodes, which really hasn't changed very much from the last few years, I'm surprised. But one of those episodes should...
Claire has joined the chat. Trump for UK, bring your ice.
...should be on Southern Law and the fact that they spent millions and millions of dollars on absolute far right and just bad groups. And then they'd use those groups and they'd say, these are Republican groups and we're coming to your rescue. And they're the ones that have funded it, and they're the ones that keep them going. Pretty sad. Do you think it's pretty sad, Nora?
The allegations and the indictment
They're not
laid
just
out
allegations.
It's an indictment
These
laid
are
out by...
facts, okay? These are facts. I mean, they have checks to the Ku Klux Klan and many others, and then they're saying how bad they are and blaming the Republican Party and Republicans. These are not just allegations, but go ahead.
Thank you, Salty Alaskan. Appreciate it, buddy.
Well, as you know, sir, you've been accused of things.
Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. We're going live every single day of 2026. And yeah, go on and become a member so you can get some more of those fun things that we do. And yeah, throw in a super chat if you want, so we can bring out Veronica. We don't have to worry about this cat.
And we're able to go to a court of law and adjudicate them. So
yeah,
allegations and indictments.
After 5 years, it takes you about 5 years.
I do want to talk about that.
Well, I've also won a lot of money from fake news media, where they write falsely about me, and not that I want to sue people, because I don't. But I bring lawsuits against the fake news. I brought lawsuits against your network, and you paid me $38 million because you did something that was so horrible with Kamala. You put an answer down that wasn't responsive to the question.
We got Jeffrey Simonson jumping in on the chat saying, y'all are leaning towards not letting women vote. So how are you going to act like you care about women's sports now? Curious, what do you think, chat? Would the world be a better place if we did not let women vote? And another point, can you give me some data back in your statement up? That's the first time I heard about that. Someone's taken away the right for women to vote?
Because her real answer was so bad, it was election threatening. And you paid me a lot of money. You tried to pull one off. It was...
I'd like to know as well.
Terrible. It was a terrible thing that you did. And, you know, when you say, can we all get along, you can, but when people do things like that, or how about the BBC, where the BBC has me, actually AI, they have me saying a horrible statement. Yeah. And I said, I never said that. It turned out they gave me...
How dare them? How dare them? Let's go, BBC.
An AI, a little AI treatment where they have my lips speaking words of hate, tremendous hate that I never said. They don't know what to do. They've admitted they're wrong. They just don't know what to do. They actually have me making a major statement, and it wasn't me. Mm-hmm. It was my face. It was...
Claire, Liverpool Football Club, says Americans not let women vote. What, like M words?
My lips were perfectly in sync with the words. I said, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. So...
I hear you, Mr. President.
So then when you say, can you get along?
Tripster doing a 360 on the chat saying the world would be a better place if we stopped letting people think their votes made any difference. We're building the best community over here, so make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, throw in a super chat, become a member. And Tripster, come on, man. Voting matters, right?
I can get along with anybody, but if people are going to cheat, if people are going to be fake, you sort of don't want to get along.
On that, what do you say to people who are encouraging political violence or even cheering it on?
Well, I think the ones that are doing that are much more far left than far right, much more. When you see, again, Southern law, when you see some of the statements that are made that are so, even when you say no kings, that's encouraging. You're saying one of the things this guy said in his manifesto, which you didn't read, you should have, is that he attended a no kings rally, along with not too many people, and probably it had an impact. You know, they get up and they say whatever they want. No, I'm against that. I think it's terrible.
Also at the dinner last night was your secretary, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. His sister, Carrie Kennedy, was there. They've both witnessed their father and their uncle be assassinated.
That's right.
Erica Kirk was there. The House Majority Leader, Steve Scalise, was there.
Yeah.
Political violence has touched so many people in that room. Is there something that you as president can do? What can be done to change the trajectory?
Well, you know, you go back 20 years, 40 years, 100 years, 200 years, 500 years. It's always been there. People are assassinated, people are injured, people are hurt.
Wild.
And I'm not sure that there's any more now than there was. I do think that the hate speech of the Democrats, much more so, is very dangerous. I really think it's very dangerous for the country. I think the fact that I've accomplished so much, I've made our country great again. I mean, this country was dead. Our country was dead. A year and a half ago, sleepy Joe Biden had no idea what he was doing. I don't think it was him either. I think it was the people that surround him in the Oval Office at the beautiful Resolute desk. I don't think he knew what he was doing. He didn't sign anything. He used the auto pen to sign 90% of the things. I think that they they really created a tremendous amount of anger and hate. Our country was dead, and now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. No, not even close.
Last night,
as an example, investments in our country, for 4 years, less than $1 trillion under Biden. In 11 months, $18 trillion under Trump. Now, most people are happy about that, but some people are really angry about it. You know why? Because it means we should be around for a long time, and they don't want that to happen.
Do you think that whole thing about like Democrats actually, so allegedly, I can't say it. It's hard to say it. There's a theory that Democrats are not actually real people. It's just like an idea theory, like a paid situation where people are not naturally democratic. They're just paid to be democratic and to push an agenda of being a Democrat, like a extreme liberal Democrat. Is that accurate? Is that true?
last night you had very much a tone of unity when you were in the White House press briefing room.
I think so, yeah. I think...
And we're going live every single day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, throw in a super chat, become a member.
I really felt very calm. I feel very calm, and I feel very...
Okay, Primal Screams has joined the chat.
calm right now, other than a couple of your questions, which are meant to antagonize and totally inappropriate. But I feel very calm. Mm-hmm. I thought last night was a very important thing to do, and people have said I did it well. Not an easy thing to do, you know. You leave a scene like that, and then you're supposed to...
Okay, so Backwoods Hillbilly has confirmed it. Yep, they are fake. They are fake. Mr. One Boston throwing in some reality to the mix, saying both parties are the same party.
To let our country, and even the world, know that it's going to be okay.
And what about when we're talking about the division in this country, the political violence? Now many of your cabinet
Yep, paid protesters. That is a fact. F-A-C-T, absolutely.
secretaries live on military bases. in order to, because of the potential threats against
Thank you, William.
them.
Well, they choose to. I'm not sure that they need to. They also have nice places, you know. Democrats did the same thing. Some of the housing on the military bases is very nice. I'm not sure they do it necessarily for violence, but probably it's not the worst thing in the world. Look, we are consequential. This is a consequential presidency. I have a great cabinet, and they do things that are very good, but some people, you know, they're good for us, they're not good for other people. Like, as an example, Iran, they're not going to have a nuclear weapon. They will not have. They're not going to blow up the world. They're crazy. They're not going to blow up the world. And therefore, they're not happy. And when they're not happy, people do things that are violent. Now, I'm not tracing anything back to them, but certainly if they had a shot, they'd probably take it. So when you're a consequential president, or if you have a
Christina Claudio says never ever trust Democrats. There you go. There you go. Do we need to run a new poll? My goodness, my goodness. Thank you for the chat. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. We're going live every single day of 2026. Become a member. On the bottom left, that's 0 out of 5. You can click that. You can make a super chat. Just do it.
consequential administration, things happen that wouldn't happen if you're sleepy Joe Biden. Everyone was happy with Biden. The world was happy. In a way, they were happy because they were taking advantage of us, because they treated the United States like we were stupid people, and they made a lot of money, but they don't do that anymore.
Last night was going to be your first attendance at the White House Correspondents' dinner.
That's right.
As president.
I was looking forward to making a speech.
And
it would have been a lot different had I gone up and had I stayed. It was very interesting because I said, I can't make that speech. I was going to do a pretty
who is it? 13%.
I won't go into the total details, but no, I was going to hit people really hard with humor. In other words, really hard with humor. And I thought it was good. When this happened, and I wanted it to go forward, because I just didn't want it canceled by a crazy person. Our country's too good for that. Our country's too important for that, and too powerful for that. I didn't want that to happen. But I said to him, and I thought it would go up. I was expecting until the last moment when the military came, and Secret Service, and law enforcement.
why did they say you couldn't go back when you were saying, I want to go back?
Because we had a very sealed room. It was very airtight. Once the doors opened and the Secret Service, military, others came in, the police came in, the law enforcement, they came in, a lot of them. We had a lot of law enforcement. And it was a wall. But the doors were open. It was breached by them. If somebody happened to slip in, and when they said that, I said, you're right. But I did want to go up. But it would have been a much different speech. I would have had to just get up and say, I love you all. And there was love in the room. It was amazing. There was love in the room.
And why do you think that is? Why do you think that the tone changed?
People came together. Democrats that truly can't stand me were saying, sir, could I just shake your hand? I mean, I'm leaving, and I'm seeing people, you know, high-level people, and they're saying, sir, great job. Sir, could I, one of them, I don't want to, you probably have it on tape someplace, one of them said, could I hug you? A big politician on the other side. There was love. It just all came together. It was very amazing to see. It was a very beautiful thing. At a non-beautiful moment, really, but it was a very beautiful thing that was happening.
I hesitate to ask you about this, but as you know, these conspiracy theories out there on the left and the right, that the event was staged or that it didn't happen.
What, last night didn't happen?
That, that it was because it was your first time there, or that Butler didn't happen. These conspiracy theories that are gaining traction on the internet.
And October 7th didn't happen, and World War II didn't happen, and the Holocaust didn't happen, and many things didn't happen. Yeah, no.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know. I think they're more sick than they are con people, but there's a lot of conning. I haven't heard that last night didn't happen. Usually it takes a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Usually they wait about 2 or 3 months to start saying that.
I think that, and forgive me, I don't peddle in that stuff or certainly look at it because I was there. But the idea, I'm wondering where this is coming from.
That'd be a tough one, I think.
This is coming
I think it would be a tough sell.
Yeah. Secret Service now is currently meeting, as they always do, to discuss your security footprint. the king is coming here, King of England.
I think it's great. He'll be very safe, yeah.
Yeah. And
You know,
will
the
your
White
events be
House
able to
grounds-
go forward? You're no concerns about security going
No,
forward?
the White House grounds are really safe. This area of not very many acres, it's really safe.
King chuckles.
And he'll be staying here. Now, I believe he's going to a couple of other locations because he's here for a few days. And he's a great guy. They called and they are so looking forward to being here. We spoke this morning.
So the king is fine. He's still coming. Your events are still going forward.
No, he's a good person.
There's no indication from the Secret Service or the FBI.
Terry dropping some knowledge in the chat saying there are only a few sports women are better. And the balance beam is one of those because they have a lower center of gravity. Makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much, Terry. Always great to know factual things. That sounds very factual. It makes a lot of sense.
FBI that there's an additional threat to you or other administration officials?
No. This was a lone wolf, in my opinion. I mean, we may find out something else. This was a sick lone wolf. He's a sicko. And very disturbed person. You could see it with his journey through life. I mean, he was a Christian. He was a member of the Christian club at his college, Caltech, which is a good college. I'm sure they're very embarrassed by this because, it's a great college. So that means he's pretty smart to be in. You got to get pretty good marks, got to get pretty good board scores. It's a hard school to get into. So he's a smart guy, but he's a sick guy. Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, it would be a lot easier if they weren't smart. Some of them are very smart. And they go around and all they want to do is kill people.
53
They're
for
sick,
Republican.
and they have to be put away.
I understand today is the First Lady's birthday. Is that right?
Today's her birthday, yes. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Melania. Yeah, today's her birthday.
How does that, how do you do?
What a ladies' man. What a ladies, that little smile, right? What do you guys think?
How do you deal with that
Well,
after what happened last night?
Yeah, by the time we get back here, it's like around 12 o'clock. And I said, happy birthday, Donna.
And you were back here in the White House, I understand, in 5 minutes.
Well, they
Oh my God. If I could read that, Mr. Boston, if I could read that, man.
move fast, yeah.
Yeah, they move fast.
I mean, look, it's a pretty quick drive. It's not very far away. But think of it, the security of having this really perfect facility built at the highest security levels on the grounds where you're not taking, I'm talking about any president. By the way, other presidents would use the ballroom a lot more than me. I'm going to have 4 or 5 months left. But other presidents will be having the that tremendous asset is going to be so great. But outside of that, it's dangerous. You need tremendous, that you could never build. You can't have thousands of rooms on top of a ballroom and have security, real security. Now, with that being said, I hope they do this event again, and I hope they do it again soon.
You are committed to doing this event with the White House Correspondents' Dinner that's about freedom of the press.
I want them because I don't want to see it be canceled. I don't want to have a crazy person. I think it's really bad for a crazy person to be able to cancel something like this. I remember with a certain event that took place, I don't even like mentioning it, where they had sports games going on. And it was a big decision. Do we cancel the games or do we not? And when you cancel, you're sort of playing right into the hands of these nut jobs, and they are. They're really sick people. I don't want to have an event like that. It was a great event. That was an event, so I refused to do it the first 4 years because I felt the press treated me very unfairly. I had a right not to do it. I didn't do it, and the thing died. It was dying. And even though the press treats me pretty badly, it's hard to treat me. Look, I won the election. People were fighting me. Everybody, not everybody. I have some. There are great people in the press too. I can name, but I don't want to embarrass your show. We have some great people in the press, some very fair people, and people that are just on my side. But for the most part, it's a very liberal or very progressive. Let's use the word liberal press. But I was really happy to see the. I don't know how long it'll last. The relationship, the friendship, the spirit after a very bad event took place. Now, The event turned out to be much less bad because nobody was killed, nobody was hurt. The Secret Service agent, I spoke to him, he had a bulletproof vest on. Unbelievable.
He's okay.
Oh, he's 100%. Yeah, no, he was 100%. He didn't want to go to the hospital. He really didn't. They asked him to go. He didn't want to go. He said, I don't need to go to the hospital. But he went because they asked him to go. I would have said, tell him not to. If he doesn't want to go, what do you force him to go for? Because then the press would say, oh, he was badly hurt. No, he didn't want to go to the hospital, and they forced him to go. And I'm not saying they're wrong, but I would have said, if he doesn't want to go, don't make him go.
Yeah, so this is the balance beams in the Olympics. I think you all have seen this. This is someone in the chat was asking about it. Just like incredible. They're so precise. They have such precision. Just imagine like doing a flip on one of these beams. Just absolutely wild. Sim 1 Bill S is a multi world champ. Yeah, what a great sport. What a great sport. Dangerous sport. Dangerous sport. Look at the balance. Just incredible balance, incredible strength. But it also can be extremely dangerous. And that's a flip of some sort. Most likely a backflip. Unreal. Unreal.
Well, I know the White House Correspondents Association very much appreciates you going last night and honoring a commitment to do it
I
again.
hope we're going to do it again. No,
Are they going to do it again? What do you think?
Nora, tell them to get it going, and we should do it within 30 days, and they'll have even more security, and they'll have bigger perimeter security. It'll be fine, but tell them to do it again. We can't let something be, it's not that I want to go. I'm very busy.
Busy man.
I don't need that. I think it's very important that they do it again.
Well, thank you.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Jerome Powell's slamming Trump over a probe?
We all know that the only reason why this criminal investigation was launched in the first instance is because Trump was trying to pressure Jerome Powell to get the hell out of his job. And to Powell's credit, what did he do? It was an unprecedented move. In January, Jerome Powell, who is like this poker face guy, right? He issued this statement about all of this, all this mishigas that was going on with this criminal investigation.
I have deep respect for the rule of law and for accountability in our democracy. No one, certainly not the chair of the Federal Reserve, is above the law. But this unprecedented action should be seen in the broader context of the administration's threats and ongoing pressure. This new threat is not about my testimony last June or about the renovation of the Federal Reserve buildings. It is not about Congress's oversight role. The Fed, through testimony and other public disclosures, made every effort to keep Congress informed about the renovation project. Those are pretexts. The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president.
Talk about powerful and lowering the boon. I mean, Jerome Powell pretty much threw down the gauntlet in the face of the orange turd and was...
Oh my goodness, woman. Oh my goodness. Don't you have better words to choose? Shapiro snaps after Theo Vaughn goes Al. My goodness. My goodness.
Listen, maybe the vice president thinks he has to kiss Theo Vaughn's half in order to keep him in the coalition, and that's his political calculation. I think it's a bad political calculation.
Shapiro repeatedly called the comedian Theo Von the R word on his program yesterday. And you won't be surprised to find out that just a few weeks ago, Von went viral for being critical of Israel. So I think it's fair to connect the two incidents. Now, before I give you the details, Cenk, your 2 cents.
What I found to be interesting is we all criticize politicians, and there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, you should if you're a part of media. But the way that he was scolding J.D. Vance, and almost like warning him, if you know what's good for you, you won't support Theo Von or Tucker Carlson. You'll only support pro-Israeli shows. I mean, the arrogance. But to be fair to Ben Shapiro, he might know things we don't know about how.
Well, Ben has to push an agenda, right? He definitely does. Oh, yeah, this is...
Do you think about it? I'm confused. I can't believe we went to this war.
Yeah, we know about that one. The GOAT, Joe Rogan. This man is incredible. Absolutely. So we have 53% would trust a Republican. What's the other one thus far? And 53%. All right. Yep. There you go. What would you rather do? Trust a Republican or a Democrat with something extremely important? I think it makes sense, right? I think it makes sense. Speaking of, what was it? Last night. Went to work during the day, and then at night, met with a friend, had a drink, and then just randomly met somebody else and started chatting like, what, did you think I stole something? And I was like, no. She's like, oh, I tried to steal something from Zara. And I was like, you did? My goodness. And she's like admitting this to me. It's like the first time I met her. And she's not poor. And then later she's like, oh, Jesus comes up, or being a believer comes up. And she's like, yeah, I'm a believer. I'm like, woman, I don't know if you're supposed to steal. I don't know if you're supposed to steal. You wild woman. I can't believe you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so that was a little bit weird to me. Trump meets with King Charles over here. Is that what's happening? Oh, I don't want to hear that, dude. Did we see it? Come on, dude. DP, what are you doing, dude? Raise the camera, man. How dare you? You're just trying to get a shot? Oh, they're not actually showing it. They're not actually showing anything. I guess we got to show a highlight for the people who love Biden. This is not funny. Felt so bad for the guy, man. So sad.
Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar has dramatically decreased the value of her and her husband's assets in financial disclosure documents, going from an estimated range of $6 million to $30 million down to a range of $18,000.
Jim Carrey falls down. Scott the Rock has joined the chat. There you go. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. We're going live every single day of 2026.
$1,000 to $95,000. The Wall Street Journal broke this story. Last year, Congresswoman Omar submitted a financial disclosure document that said her husband Tim Mynette's venture capital management company, Rose Lake Capital, was valued between $5 million and $25 million. And his California winery was valued between $1 million and $5 million. That's where the initial estimate came from. Now, Omar has filled out an amended financial disclosure document. Her team says she voluntarily did this after receiving a letter from the Office of Congressional Conduct, a nonpartisan ethics watchdog for Congress. Here is that new document dated March 26 that says the same two companies have no value once liabilities and debt.
Dark City 2004. How much Trump made? Trump made a lot. He made a lot, buddy. My, oh my.
Are factored in, meaning the costs and money owed for the companies. A spokesperson for Congresswoman Omar says MyNet's business accountant didn't deduct liabilities when providing numbers for that initial.
Terry says women have consistently matched or surpassed men's performance in ultra distance swimming, ultra endurance running, and cycling. I don't know about the running part, and I don't know about cycling either. Equestrian events, maybe. I don't know about that one. Shooting sports, I highly doubt that. Super highly doubt that. Nothing against women, but women's spatial awareness and hand-eye coordination is not nearly as good as men's. But, you know, for many years, men have been hunting and gathering and using those types of things, you know, weapons to gain food, while women have been using other skills to nurture and raise families. You know, women are important, men are important. Can't take away anything from anyone, you know. That's absolutely true. We're going live every day at 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications.
Disclosure, which significantly overstated MyNet's net worth. They say the Congresswoman didn't notice what they call an accounting error because Omar.
Oli Frun says you're wrong, bro. Look it up. If I'm wrong, I sit wrong, and I'd like to know about it.
Is not involved in her husband's businesses. Her spokesperson
send me a link.
Said the amended disclosure confirms what we've said all along. The Congresswoman is not a millionaire. When it comes to amended congressional disclosures like these, Congresswoman Omar is far from alone. Minnesota Congresswoman Kelly Morrison recently amended hers after it was revealed that she was in violation of the Stock Act for failing to disclose more than $1.4 million in trades in Anderson Windows Corporation within the required 45 days. I'm Lou Ragoose. Follow.
Yeah, Angel Reese and that other girl, Caitlin Clark, they're going at it. They're not holding too much back, man. They are just wha-bam-wha-bamming. And who's the other one? Caitlin Clark's teammate? She is so attractive. A U.S. soldier arrested for prediction market betting. Sophie Cunningham, that's it. Yeah, what a gorgeous girl.
Stunning arrest of a Special Forces soldier who was about to go on a top secret mission and allegedly decided to lay a big bet on its chances of success.
Related to Pelosi?
This morning, a Special Forces soldier is due in federal court on charges he used classified information to bet on the commando raid that ousted Venezuelan strongman Nicolas Maduro.
Yeah, that tall blonde girl. Oh my gosh, dude. And she can fight. Do you see that part where she was defending Caitlin Clark? Like Caitlin Clark was just getting bullied. I think she got like her hair pulled or maybe an eye poke or something bad. It was pretty bad. Or elbow or something. She got thrown on the ground. And then Sophie Cunningham, like Superwoman, just gets in the middle.
Before it happened, federal prosecutors said Master Sergeant Gannon Ken Van Dyke placed bets on Polymarket on the timing and outcome of that very operation, all to turn a profit of more than $400,000. While helping to plan and execute the operation to capture Maduro, the indictment said Van Dyke opened a Polymarket account and traded on Maduro and Venezuela-related.
So Van Dyke is on the Maduro job and he's like, hey, I'm gonna bet on it. I'm doing this job, man. There's no way I'm not doing it.
Contracts on 13 separate occasions, including in the hours before the raid when he wagered Maduro out by January 31st. The soldier is charged with fraud and unlawful use of confidential government information for personal gain, the first time the Justice Department is prosecuting alleged insider trading on a prediction market. There are now calls for Congress to investigate well-timed bets on prediction markets. A Polymarket user made more than $500,000 through a series of bets related to the war in Iran and the toppling of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. And right before President Trump scrapped plans to attack Iranian power plants, traders successfully bet almost $1 billion oil prices would...
TT has joined the chat. How you doing, buddy?
Fall asked whether he's concerned federal employees like the soldier now facing criminal charges may be profiting from inside information. The president appeared to downplay it.
That's like Pete Rose betting on his own team. It's a little like Pete.
Trump's got to make some jokes, man. That is hilarious, dude. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. How many Dems in the chat think that's funny? Any?
Pete Rose, they kept him out of the Hall of Fame because he bet on his own team. Now, if he bet against his team, that would be no good, but he bet on his own team. I'll look into it.
The president's eldest son, Don Jr., is an advisor to and investor in Polymarket, and one of the president's namesake companies announced last year it would launch its own.
Yeah, he's probably one of the best trolls, bro. Indiscreet, discreet. Dropping some knowledge in the chat, saying they are all corrupt. I think what he's referring to is Republicans and Democrats. And if I told you I disagree with him, I would be lying. I would be 100% lying if I told you I disagree with his statement saying they are all corrupt. And we're trying to build the best community over here, so make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in some super chats if you want. It helps the channel. I love you. The Lord loves you. And your family loves you.
Prediction market. As for the soldier who was stationed at Fort Bragg, he's due in a North Carolina court today before he's brought here to New York to
Boston, J-Word Island, man.
face charges. George, there are already calls in Congress for him to receive a pardon, and no doubt there will be a trade on Polymarket.
And you saw the president mention Pete Rose there. He actually called for a pardon of Pete Rose as well. These markets are so ripe for corruption.
Yeah, we just double confirmed that. Mr. Boston just confirmed that like 30 minutes ago.
And we've seen all these big bets that happen sometimes just minutes before a major world event. Not always as earth-shaking as the war in Iran, maybe Taylor Swift's engagement or the awarding of a Nobel Peace Prize.
And harder to trace the stocks than what's happening on Polymarket.
Oh, Polymarket. I have no idea even what that is. Biden? Do you mean Joe Biden said he drove an 18-wheeler, bro? Which video game was that? Waters knows what's really went down. Oh, okay. If Polymarket and Cashy both have Trump's son on the board, then Trump's probably not gonna get mad. Maybe that's another marketing stint, man. You never know. You know what? Maybe this all of the news is just fear and marketing. Man, sounds like a cool shirt. Would you wear that shirt? Fear and marketing.
Fox News alert, a third attempt on the president's life, this time at the White House Correspondents' dinner. The night began as it always does, tuxes, gowns, and cocktails. It was Trump's first time attending as president.
Corruption.
And primetime was there.
What's the game plan when you get inside?
Well, the game plan is to just sit back and enjoy an amazing evening.
It's going to be great, highly entertaining, classic Trump.
The legendary roast is going to be amazing.
It may be off the cuff. You know, he's very funny off the cuff. An epic speech, but an epic Duffy night out.
I'm very excited about The Mentalist.
I haven't been here in years, but I couldn't miss this one.
We came to support the greatest president America has ever had, Donald J. Trump.
At 8:15, President Trump entered the ballroom with the First Lady and the VP.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 45th and 47th President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and First Lady Melania Trump.
There you go. That looks nice. That looks really cool. Those handshakes. Look at the joy. Great outfits. Melania, hey. What a smile. Mrs. Trump from Slovenia.
The room was packed, 2,000 in attendance, 12 of the 18 officials in the line of succession. Hundreds of journalists, media executives, and celebrities sitting shoulder.
Y'all probably didn't see that, but Mr. Boston might have seen that. He's dropping the M-word handshakes right there, buddy.
Shoulder to shoulder, enjoying the first course, spring peas and burrata. On stage, just after 8:30, a mentalist leaned over the president and first lady mid-trick, trying to guess Caroline Leavitt's baby's name. Then, without warning, pop, pop, pop.
Where'd it go? Hold on. Mentalist just reaches over.
A mentalist leaned over the president and first lady mid-trick, trying to guess Caroline Leavitt's baby's name. Then, without warning, pop, pop, pop.
Okay, so here he is on this side. And that was the shot. All right. It's interesting that not too many people are looking at Trump right now. Like, I see this face, that face, that face. All right, so is this before? Let's see how many faces turn. No. All right, so from this part. Okay.
An assassin had charged 60 feet through a Secret Service checkpoint, reaching the top of a staircase that led to the ballroom. Secret Service moved immediately. Agents jumped on the president, forcing him down.
The Secret Service grab him, and they're trying to get him to go down, and he's going down, and then they kind of more aggressively get on top of him and bring him down. And the most surreal moments potentially of my life are when President Trump goes down about a foot away from me, and we are side to side staring into each other's eyes from a foot away, looking at each other. And the thought that crosses my mind right then is, oh no, I hope we're not about to die.
Within seconds, President Trump was rushed from the stage.
Well, I don't even know if for sure those shots were from inside the room. From what I understand, it was like, it looked like he was caught in a hallway. Like he'd even make it to the room. You guys have any data on like how far he actually got? Like, is it possible?
The vice president yanked out of his seat.
And from their reactions, like maybe 70% of them turned around, and then all of them turned around. But it wasn't like with the May His Soul Rest in Peace, the Kirk thing. Like everyone immediately turned when they saw that who some people say allegedly lavalier microphone did something.
Agents.
Jason Holmes dropping in on the chat saying he was in the main hall of the hotel. He never made it to the room. Thank you for dropping that in the chat, buddy. Shilhan Omar says Cole Allen drops soap on purpose. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Going live every day of 2026. Become a member. Throw in a super chat.
Swarmed the hallways outside the ballroom, screaming at people to get low.
Where's it coming from? Crossfire! Look out! Watch out! Move, move, move! Everybody stay down, stay down! You okay, sir? We got one down.
Move, move, move.
By 8:35, authorities had the shooter in custody. After an exchange of gunfire, one Secret Service agent was shot. He was wearing a vest and is expected to make a full recovery. Inside the room, nobody knew what was happening. Chairs flipped, glass shattered, and guests hit the floor as agents flooded the venue. Secret Service agents climbed over tables to protect cabinet members and high-ranking officials.
There you go. Got to do that, right?
Room, as I was walking out of the men's room to go down the stairs to go back to the ballroom, all of a sudden I hear gunshots going off, and I knew they were gunshots. The next thing I knew, I see the gunman.
He says plural, gunshots. We heard one shot, right? How many did you guys hear?
Maybe 3 or 4 feet away, shooting, and it looked like he was just firing randomly at the top, firing.
So there must have been many.
Bullets. And he had a big gun. I don't know what kind of gun it was, but it was a big gun. And within a few seconds, all of a sudden, a police officer comes running up to me and pushes me down to protect me.
That was Wolf Blitzer, who stepped out to use the men's room and came face to face with the shooter. The president was whisked away to his secure holding area nearby, and he was unharmed. Posting at 9:17 that he was recommending we let the show go on if it was okay with law enforcement. But shortly after, the White House Correspondents Association president got on stage and made an announcement.
Law enforcement has requested that we leave the premises consistent with protocol. The president will be having a press briefing at the White House in 30 minutes. That is not a joke. And he insists that we will reschedule this event in the next 30 days.
Champ.
An hour later, President Trump posted a picture of the alleged gunman,
good to see you, brother.
face down on the carpet, shirtless. And at 10:30, President Trump and the press gathered in the briefing room in black tie.
Well, thank you very much. That was very unexpected. We very much, and you wanted to too, we very much wanted to continue it because I don't like to let these sick people, these thugs, these horrible, horrible people change the fabric of our life, change the course of what we do. So we...
Those are the words of a champion right there. Like, that's just for him to like say that and give that mentality to both sides, might we say. What an amazing dude. Amazing guy, honestly. He's just one of the best. One of the best. So inspiring.
We held out. You were there. We held out right till the end, but they didn't want to take a chance, and I understand there was protocol. But we're going to be doing one hopefully within the next 30 days or sooner, and I am ready, willing, and able, and I was all set to really rip it. And I said to my people, this would be the most inappropriate speech ever made if I said one. So I'll have to save it. I don't know if I could ever be as rough as I was going to be tonight. I think I'm going to be probably very nice.
The White House Correspondents Association president asked the first.
There we go. We got the first portion of the poll. Who would you trust with something very, very important? The numbers are in. Out of 178 votes, thank you so much for participating, we have 57% would trust a Republican.
Question, listen.
As you mentioned, it all happened so quickly. And I wonder, especially because unfortunately you have experience with these sorts of threats, in that moment when you realized there was a threat and service agents were telling us to get down, can you describe what was going through your mind, how you were feeling in that moment?
That's very good.
And in the second chat, we have 57 votes, and we have 58% would trust a Republican. So does this mean if you want to live a more trustworthy life, surround yourself by Republicans? And if you want to be a trustworthy person, then be a Republican? I don't know. Just making assumptions with the poll numbers.
Good question, actually. It's always shocking when something like this happens. Happened to me a little bit. and that never changes. The fact we were sitting right next to each other, First Lady on my right, and I heard a noise and sort of thought it was a tray, but it was a gun. And some people really understood that pretty quickly, other people didn't. I was watching to see what was happening. Probably should have gone down even faster.
The president didn't.
You want to see something really, really wild? Like absolutely wild? This is like the thing you don't want to do with a police officer. And you can see the intensity versus this and then this situation right here.
Stop! Stop the car! Stop the car!
Just read this. Antioch police officer kidnapped. Dude, is that the last person you want to kidnap? You're like, yeah, what you gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna go kidnap a police officer. Are you serious, man? Come on, dude. Come on, dude. We're going live every day at 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat. Let's see what happens over here.
Stop the car, I will shoot you!
A California police officer kidnapped, his body cam capturing his wild confrontation with a speeding driver who refuses to stop.
Kill us, bro! You're gonna kill us, bro! You need to stop! Hey, stop the car! Stop the car!
Dude, the dude is not stopping. You can tell this, like, the cop is like, he's saying with authority and he doesn't want to hurt him, but he's like, man, if I need to hurt this guy.
Stop it!
But that fleeing driver refuses to stop. It all began a few minutes earlier with an alarm at a grocery store. A crew of thieves caught on surveillance camera backing an SUV into the store's front doors and shattering the glass. 2 people then running inside.
Which sin is this? Greed.
Just minutes later, Antioch police officers arrive and try to block that SUV from escaping. One of the officers opens the passenger side door, confronting the driver. That driver hits reverse, knocking the officer inside the SUV.
That looks serious, dude. He got about like 9 miles an hour, but the cop was concerned about him having a weapon. Didn't think he'd reverse and just cup him inside the car. Cup of copper.
That's when the driver puts it in drive and hits the gas, making his escape with an Antioch police officer in his passenger seat. This is dashcam video from the police car that was hit and shoved out of the way.
Get out! Get out! Get out!
Body damage.
Back inside that fleeing SUV, the officer now threatening to shoot the driver if he won't stop.
I'm warning you, I will shoot your leg! Stop! Stop the car! Stop the car! Stop! I will shoot you!
Moments later, the driver hits a parked car and jumps out of the SUV, taking off on foot.
Z5, shots fired.
That officer finally able to get out of the vehicle, and he begins searching for the wounded driver in a local neighborhood. More officers quickly swarming the scene and finding the driver's hiding place in some bushes and taking him into custody.
Yo, hands up! Keep your hands up! Do not move them until I tell you to! Do not move them until I tell you!
Right there at the end, you heard the driver screaming, he shot me," as he was being arrested. Paramedics taking that driver, identified as 23-year-old Dominic D'Souza, to a local hospital for treatment of a bullet wound to the leg. He's now facing charges of kidnapping, robbery, grand theft, and assault with a deadly weapon on a peace officer. Multiple investigations now launched to determine whether Antioch Police Department policies and procedures were followed.
Yeah, dude, you don't... Last thing you want to do is assault or is kidnap a police officer, man. Oh man, dude. Just imagine that, man. Like just thinking about the consequences. There's so many better things to do, man. Become a gardener, you know. You don't want to do like physical labor? Become a telemarketer. Talk on the phone. Come on, do something, right? Chomping out. Oh man. And do we have an update on the choke point with the Strait to Hormuz? Oh, we got Jason Holmes, 6137, dropping in a super chat, saying that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Everyone, drop Jason Holmes a W in the chat. Thank you so much. I don't know if he knows what happens, but anytime that happens, we got to get Veronica in the chat. Veronica, please come here and say thank you to Mr. Jason Holmes.
Thank you for your support. I love you. Wishing you and your family the best.
Veronica loves you. Yeah, man, that is unreal. Unreal. Yeah. Thank you, Jason Holmes. Y'all can thank Jason Holmes for bringing out Veronica. There we go. So we have updates with the choke point. Let's see what's happening.
This is war, and the war is now moving into a new phase. We need to look at the map.
Wishing
because the movement that has not really been talked about is that the USS Tripoli, which is a light aircraft carrier, which is carrying the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit, is on its way into the region. And this is not routine. This is not a symbol. This is something very specific. This is a Marine ground task force with roughly 2,200 Marines, supported by naval assets and F-35B aircraft. These 2,200 people are designed for one thing: rapid, precise, high-impact operations. This is a scalpel. A lot of people think about Iran as just a country. They think about missile exchanges. The real story about this war, it's about the choke points. Hormuz was designed to be a kill box, meaning anything that goes in, the doors are shut and it's destroyed. It's like a funnel, and the funnel is surrounded by Iranian territory and Omani territory. And Iran, they have missiles, they've got drones, they have naval mines, and they have tunnels. And out of those tunnels, they have jihadis and people that work for the regime, fighters that can come out, fire on an oil tanker, and disappear underground. Karj is not in the strait, but it is just as important because after you pass this kill box, you've got this island Karj, where roughly 90% of Iran's oil exports flow. And this is where the story widens. Much of this war goes back to China. China is a massive country with a massive population, but it is missing key natural resources, in particular oil. So when you talk about operations around Hormuz, around the Karj Island, we are talking about China's energy supply. We are talking about the fuel that powers China's military buildup, its industrial base, China's global ambitions. But it goes much deeper than just oil. China gives the Iranian regime its surveillance technology, the facial recognition systems, the systems that Iran employs after those protests, which track all those faces so that they can get retribution after those people leave the streets, and all the internet control architecture that brings down the internet, the firewalls, all the tools that allow the regime in Tehran to monitor, suppress, and control its own population come from China. China gives them money, hundreds of millions of dollars, and the regime gives China oil. So when you cut into Iran's oil exports, we're not just weakening the regime, we are disrupting an entire network.
Yeah, Hemi has jumped in the chat saying, not to mention Palantir also does facial recognition. What else does it do? What else does it do? What do you guys think about that company? Are you guys pro Palantir or nah? Not really. Not pro Palantir. How
Thank you for your support.
Oh, Veronica.
I love you. Wishing you and your family
How does
the
she
best.
pop up again? Oh my gosh. All right. Let's see. Is it going to pop up again? No. No. There you are. I see you.
Thank you for your support.
You're around there someplace.
I
That's where you are. Okay. Yeah. She's just so pretty. She's confusing everybody, you know. That's the thing. We have Conor McGregor saying he's coming back for sure, and Dana White kind of excited about it. He's saying, yeah, you know what, we're talking. It's going pretty well. It's not 100% yet, but it's going pretty well. For the baseball fans out there, we got a little quick one, and I guess this is like the celebration that's not a celebration. Don't know much about it, but this is just one for you.
Leadoff hitters putting their clubs
hits it over the wall on the right side. I don't really understand that. Do you guys understand that one? No idea what that means. Honestly, absolutely zero idea what that means. And who's receiving the Star Spangled Banner? We're gonna see right now. UK King and Queen arrive in the US. Ooh, we got someone attracted to the dictator. Thomas Tomad says, F word the dictator, Donnie. I don't know. David Knows Audio says, your life will not move too far beyond when this president is gone. Lone Wolf and Cub says, if I was Iran, I would wait until Democrats are in charge and walk across the southern border. Not just walk across the southern border. Be able to vote, get free housing, have the American tax dollars pay for all that. Yeah, man, yeah. Shellhan jumping in on the chat saying, I'm calling it now. Who would win in a debate? Elite plans or Platinum Elite? My money is on Elite. Oh, thank you, buddy. Thank you. I'm not even seeing words from Platinum Elite. I'm not getting his chats for some reason. Shorty saying 3 times cheating on his wife. I've read the 10 Commandments. My goodness. Brilliant sounds, all the horns. There you go. There you go. We got Jason Holmes in the chat saying, I worked for Trump. I was a small engine repair at one of his golf courses in New Jersey. And he didn't as Shole you think he is. So he is not the as Shole you think he is. Insider information. There we go. Oh, he is not. Okay. John says he is. John, did you shine his shoes? Like, how close were you to POTUS? And how dare you challenge Jason? Jason is the extremely kind man who brought Veronica into the chat. So give Jason some W's. Come on. What are you doing?
Of vast amounts of oil pouring through your system. If for any reason that line is closed because you can't continue to put it into containers or ships, which has happened to them, they have no ships because of the blockade. What happens is that line explodes from within, both mechanically and in the earth.
That's why they're burning it.
Happens where it just explodes, and they say they only have about 3 days left before that happens. And when it explodes, you can never, regardless, you can never rebuild it the way it was. In other words, it will always be, if you rebuild it.
This is very, very incredible. Have a listen here. Alvaro Santiago has decided to join the chat and says, Trump wanted to close off the borders to keep the virus from spreading, but y'all called him R word for it. R word. Like he's racing something. Racist. You call them racist for keeping the virus out. Come on, y'all.
It's going to be permanent. To rebuild it all, but it would only be about 50% of what it is right now.
And look at this. Iran is very worried. They're making frantic moves. They brought a 30-year-old oil tanker out of retirement and sent it to their oil island because they don't have any storage. But they've apparently offered the U.S. a new deal in the hopes to end this conflict. What's that like?
Out of the Middle East, where Iran has reportedly made a new offer to the U.S. when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz. Axios writing, quote, Iran gave the U.S. a new proposal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and end the war, with nuclear negotiations postponed for a later stage. Diplomacy is in a stalemate, and the Iranian leadership is divided about what nuclear concessions should be on the table.
It sounds like they're united in that there should be zero.
Did you vote for Kamala like Cole Allen did? She'll enjoy the chat. Oh, Jason Holmes has joined in on the super chat to clarify and says he actually was extremely involved with everything and would come to what we called the dungeon and check to see things were good. He was good to us. Man, that is incredible. That is incredible. That's like a dream story right there, honestly. Seeing someone so successful check in on you. That's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much, Jason Holmes, for the $5 US. Veronica, come here. Say thank you to Jason. Everybody say thank you to Jason, because now we get to see Veronica again.
Thank you for your support. I love you. Wishing you and your family the best.
Jason getting W's in the chat. Let's go, Jason. Thank you so much.
Zero concessions on the table, and look at what the deal they're offering actually entails. It gets worse.
If what they mean by opening the straits is, yes, the straits are opened as long as you coordinate with Iran, get our permission, or we'll blow you up, and you pay us. That's not opening the straits. Those are international.
And we're going live every day at 2026, so make sure y'all like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and so you can be a part of this amazing community and we can all grow together and learn together.
Waterways. They cannot normalize, nor can we tolerate them trying to normalize a system in which the Iranians
and we can always say thank you to Jason for bringing out Veronica.
Decide who gets to use an international waterway and how much you have to pay them to use it.
So this new deal is really the last deal, just repackaged and even worse somehow. But what does the president think about this?
Israel would get blown up within minutes from the time they got it. So we can't let Iran have a nuclear weapon. So this should have been done by previous presidents. It should have been done for years, 47 years it's been going on, and nobody did anything about it. We've done a great job. And
hey, Veronica, Scott the Rock says thank you, by the way.
It'll come to an end very soon, and we're going to be victorious. But They cannot have a nuclear weapon.
So Trump says no nuclear weapons. Iran says, hey, we want to have negotiations, but we don't want to talk about the nuclear weapon, which reveals where we are in this process. We're at a stalemate. But now that Trump has stonewalled the Iranians and is blockading them in their little area of the world, they're negotiating with the Russians to see if they'll get what they want from them.
On pushing forward with their own diplomatic aims. The foreign minister of Iran meeting in Russia today after coming off a visit to Oman and 2 separate visits to Pakistan to meet with mediators there. Notably absent in Islamabad, the United States, after President Trump canceled the trip for Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner after Iran appeared to be non-committal about
guys are on a world sympathy tour.
The president saying as a result of all of this, if Iran wants to make a deal, they know how to reach
They're
him.
wasting their time.
If they want to talk, they can come to us or they can call us. But we're not sending people to travel.
What in the world? Rock Hounding Pacific Northwest has joined the chat to answer your question about that 4B since he was elected last year. Shorty's Tulip. So, Rock Hounding says he is manipulating the market and giving his family members government contracts. I don't know how accurate that is, but you never know. You never know. But what a great picture. Look at POTUS over here. One of the most entertaining men on earth.
Travel 18 hours to meet.
Right, that's a waste of time, man.
Iran's takeaway from all of this, their foreign minister is saying developments have occurred in the negotiations. The Americans' approach has caused the previous round of talks, despite the progress that had been made, not to reach its objectives. The excessive demands they made and the incorrect approaches they adopted, it was necessary for us to have consultations with our friends in Pakistan to examine the latest situation. Weird. Meanwhile, as there is hope that
So these guys are flying all around the world. They want to talk to everybody but the United States. This is just another one of their schemes to drag things out, but they have a secret motive for why they're meeting with all of these.
Johnny Vega. Yeah, Strait of Trump, you know, Strait of Hormuz, Strait to Trump, Canal of America.
These other countries and not America.
Yeah, the drone companies for sure, like Unusual Machines. And the other one, what was the other one that we went over yesterday?
Or let me say potential talks between the United States and Iran. Russia had several ideas on the table.
Yeah, how many millions did they make 15 minutes before Trump tweeted that with the oil situation? That was incredible. Incredible business plan, maybe. Maybe Pelosi related, you never know.
Well, Foreign Minister Lavrov spoke.
Allegedly.
Spoke to Abbas Araghchi days ago
what a
and
joke.
Showed readiness for Russia to play this role in conveying messages or in bridging gaps between Iran and the United States. Also, Iran and Russia are strong partners. We always have to remember that when the war started, Russia was among the countries that showed support to Iran.
The reason for this meeting is to make it look like Iran is not isolated, that they're not alone. Meanwhile, Russia has done absolutely nothing. And now people are wondering, who's gonna win this thing? Is the president gonna win this thing? Or is Iran gonna come out on top and survive?
I think what Iran wants to do is to eliminate our leverage. And so if we no longer have the blockade in place, then as far as whatever leverage might remain, it's the $20 billion of frozen Iranian assets. So that would be an incentive potentially to come to a deal. And then the threat of a resumption of military force. That takes us back to February before we launched our kinetic strikes on Iran. And back then, we know that Iran didn't come to the negotiating table in good faith. And so I think this is what Iran wants to do. The president is meeting today in the Situation Room with his key national security advisors.
Look, this is what Iran does not want. Look at the map. We've got boats everywhere. Every waterway is totally blocked off. They cannot get out of their little area here. They're stuck in there. They're trapped. They want this over. That's why they're saying, hey, just get us out of this blockade. We'll come back to the table. We hope and pray Trump is so stupid that he gets America excited that this thing's almost over. And then we've got leverage because we can say, oh, it's not over. That's what they're doing. They're trying to bait the president into convincing you and I that this thing is about to end. But now the question is, how much can Iran take if their oil fields explode? Are they willing to go down that road?
There's no evidence right now that any sort of economic pressure, right now at least, is going to induce Iran to negotiate in good faith. At least that's where we stand at the moment.
Don't care.
There's absolutely no evidence of any popular uprising. And what I think the Iranian regime wants to do is demonstrate that they are resilient. They're doing that to demonstrate to their proxy terrorists, Hezbollah, the Houthis, and their militias in Iraq, that they continue, in spite of U.S. military strikes, to lead this terrorist state.
It looks like this regime has convinced...
White Buffalo has joined the chat. How dare they do that to the beavers? My goodness. Are any beavers injured while extracting that?
...itself that it's got things under control at the home front. There is no popular uprising right now because the guys with the guns, they're the ones that are still in charge. So to them, if the only thing they care about is power and the only thing they want is a country to rule, why would they give that up? Even if the economy implodes and the oil wells and their production, why would they do that? Why would they fight until the end like this?
Jason Holmes says no evidence because they turned off the internet. How long did that last? Did that last for quite some time, or was it only like for a few days?
Unless they're making a major miscalculation and what they think isn't based on reality at all.
These people are all the same. They are bona fide hardliners.
Yep.
And where they're coming from.
Oh my goodness. As of late April 2026, Iran has enforced a near total 60-day internet blackout beginning around February 28, 2026, following military conflicts. This disruption, the longest in the country's history, severed international connectivity while enforcing a state-monitored domestic network. State-monitored domestic network. So maybe they can still use cell phones, but just not get on the internet. Imagine 60 days with no internet. My oh my. The crackdown began following a joint military operation by the U.S. and Israel targeting Tehran, which is in Iran, on February 28, 2026. What's the impact? International access was severed and access to global platforms was blocked, resulting in 1,392 plus hours of near total disconnection. I'm guessing cell phones did not work either. Authorities pivoted to a whitelisting system, allowing only select state-approved domestic services to function for certain users. There's a previous shutdown. This surpasses previous major restrictions, such as the 5-day near total blackout in November 2019 during fuel protests. So it's not the first time that has happened. Very interesting. Very interesting. What about Starlink? What if they use Starlink up there? What if Elon Musk gets involved with Starlink?
Going into these talks, they think they made progress to get the United States to go to a pause and a ceasefire once they closed down the Straits of Hormuz, because they believed that decision was made because of political and economic pressure.
That's what they believe.
That has encouraged them to continue to do this, to drag out these negotiations. After all, we have passed the ceasefire deadline in their minds, and we got to get inside their head how they're thinking, not through our prism, but how they're thinking. They believe that's a good thing. We're dragging this out, and therefore the pressure will mount on the president in terms of political and economic pressure that would force him to make more concessions than he's certainly willing to make.
Their only hope is that somehow President Trump isn't defeated on a battlefield where everything has been annihilated, but is defeated back home. Somehow maybe the media comes out with some articles that makes it look like Trump's doing terrible and his popularity tanks and there's an uprising among his own party. But now the thing that people are wondering is, if Iran's economy collapses because they have to shut down their oil production and there are underground explosions that devastate their infrastructure, will people rise up at that point? What's gonna happen to the regime inside the country just a few days from now? But just before we continue, in Burbank, California, a real estate broker and two others orchestrated a massive deed fraud scheme, using stolen identities, forged paperwork, and victim impersonation to sell a $1.5 million home and successfully obtain almost $1 million in loan proceeds. And the victims are now trapped in a legal and financial nightmare. The rightful homeowner who lost ownership, the impersonated buyer, who's now legally obligated to repay a $975,000 mortgage, the lender who funded the fraudulent loan, and even the title company that secured this entire transaction. These schemes are becoming more and more common, especially with advances in artificial intelligence. And if you're a
Shillahan, are you talking about this? I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this? You can't see that. We've got The Rock watching The View. Oh, very cool, very cool.
A homeowner without protection in place, this could be you. That's why I've partnered with Home Title Lock.
EJR 1911, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you. We got Smoothest Basis 7086 saying Republican equals submissive. Submitting to the law. Obeying the law. There you go. Happy to have a Republican on the channel. So happy to, see someone like Smoothest Bassist just be so bold to say he's a Republican because he's submissive and follows the law. Very cool, very cool. But I could be sitting corrected. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm wrong about so many things, man.
And the danger that it could actually face economic collapse. Where these people are coming from, and we got to get this, they will absorb suffering much beyond anything we think is tolerable. Wow. Because they don't care about the suffering of their people. Nope. That is just a reality. What are they trying to do? Stay in power, preserve the regime, and they will do that at all costs. So when
EJR says, I feel bad for that rock being subjected to The View.
When we're dealing with these people, we have to really realize where they're coming from. Now look at our side of this.
And the actual real raw counting PNW has never seen an episode of The View. So, but also want to say thank you so much, Raw County PNW, for being here, buddy.
What do we have going for us?
Okay, before we talk about what Trump...
And just so you all know, we're going live every single day of 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, throw in a super chat so we can see Veronica again. We all want to see Veronica again.
Could do to accelerate this in the near future or string the Iranians along as time runs out for them, you've got to understand their oil infrastructure, this is how the country runs. You've got so many people that go to work every day and work on this stuff. Now, if these refineries go defunct, if they go under, they stop working, they're shut down, and then there's all kinds of problems and they send everybody home, the word is gonna get out that the people of this country are being...
All right, I think that he has some valid points, absolutely valid points. But we got to see, I don't want to out the guy who sent me this one, but we gotta check this one out, because I think this is moderately more important rather than the surface area stuff. There you are. And this is wild, so if this is too wild for you, I'm sorry.
It begins with a flutter, a feeling of lightheadedness as if floating. This is what a person feels when trauma is induced by electroshock. They call it monarch, named for the butterfly's transformation from a caterpillar to a dormant cocoon to a new creation, programmed to return to its point of origin. But this is no natural metamorphosis. This is a descent into a nightmare, a systematic shattering of the human soul to create the perfect puppet. The roots of this horror stretch back through centuries, through the hidden knowledge of ancient mystery religions, but its modern form was perfected in the 20th century's darkest chapter. Nazi Germany, obsessed with eugenics and control, pioneered the medical techniques. At Auschwitz, the infamous doctor, Joseph Mengele, the angel of death, analyzed the effects of trauma bonding and electroshock on children. In Dachau, inmates were placed under hypnosis and given hallucinogenic drugs. This wasn't just brutality, it was research.
Yeah, all in the name of science, right? You need some top secret stuff. So this is the wild part about science. Like they almost, there's no rules because we're just like testing things, you know, which is kind of wild, right?
After the war, this research didn't die. It was secretly imported into the United States. Under Operation Paperclip, top Nazi scientists were brought to America. One of them, General Reinhard Gehlen, Hitler's chief of intelligence, met with President Truman and Allen Dulles. Together, they forged the Central Intelligence Agency. With the CIA's birth in 1947, a new dark chapter in mind control began on American soil. It started with projects like Chatter and Artichoke, but in 1953, it evolved into something far more sinister. Project M, K Ultra. For 20 years, the CIA conducted illegal experiments on unwitting citizens.
Illegal?
Using radiation, electroshock, hypnosis, and drugs like LSD. Their goal was to create the perfect Manchurian candidate, a sleeper assassin who could be activated by a key phrase. Buried deep.
You guys ready for a dad joke? So Hitler had a twin, and the twin's name was Missler, because the opposite of hit is miss. So bad joke, bad jokes.
Deep within MK Ultra's 149 subprojects was its crown jewel, a program so secret its name still sends chills through the intelligence community. Project Monarch. Monarch was a form of structured dissociation. Using the unimaginable trauma of sexual abuse and torture, programmers deliberately shattered a child's mind into multiple personalities, or alters. They were creating a complex computer program within a human.
All right, so he says that allegedly these were performed by CIA agents, and CIA agent officers primarily work outside the USA. So if you just take that into consideration, do you think that other agencies from other governments are performing illegal things on American citizens or other citizens that are outside of their country? And does this kind of put our current situation into context? Like maybe say there's Iran, Israel, and America in one situation, and categorize them by A, B, and C. And you think A, B, and C have something to do with it, right? And D being Antarctica, E being like Iceland, and F being Alaska. Maybe Alaska has something to do with it, you know, or maybe Iceland. You never know. It's almost like sometimes these people that are put in front of you, it's almost always in human nature the person that's so far back that you have no idea has some type of input on the situation happening here. So like for people to argue about Donald Trump or Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom, maybe it's good to think twice about it.
Human being. Each altar was a file, created through trauma and repetition, waiting to be activated by a trigger word. The victim became a slave, and the programmer, their master, their god. 75% of the subjects were female, chosen for their higher tolerance for pain.
There's only one God in the world. Come on, buddy.
They were used for covert operations, prostitution, and pornography.
Bad.
A former military officer connected to the DIA admitted, "These people are in all walks of life, from the bum on the street to the white-collar guy." To reinforce the programming, handlers used mediums saturated with occult symbolism. The Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland were early favorites. Later, Disney movies were used to build in triggers for a new generation of monarch children. In Pocahontas, Grandmother Willow, a mystical tree, tells the hero to listen to her heart. In Illuminati systems, the willow tree represents the powers of Druidism. Its branches are used to whip victims in rituals.
Jason saying so much we don't know, but BlackRock is a very sus corporation. Yeah, it's so wild that I think BlackRock took like, what is it, 90% of the rebuilding contracts in that issue happening on the east side of Ukraine. 80%. I think it might even be more than 80%. Unreal.
And its deep roots make a person in a...
Allegedly. And we're going live every day at 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, become a member, send a super chat if you want.
Trance feel like they are falling.
Johnny Vega says, we are lab rats. Unfortunately, some could view it that way, but another thing to think about is do not be afraid. You know, the Lord is in control. Just try to be a good person, and being a good person pays, honestly. It's so much better. It makes your life so much better.
Falling into an abyss. The programmers were monsters hiding in plain sight. Dr. Joseph Mengele, the Angel of Death, didn't die in South America. Survivors knew him as Dr. Green. They remembered his gentle demeanor one moment and the explosive rage the next. They recalled his I love you not daisy game, where after pulling the last pedal, he would torture and kill one child in front of another he was programming. For decades, the project remained a secret, but slowly, survivors began to speak out. Kathy O'Brien, in her book Trance, Formation of America, detailed her life as a presidential model, forced into prostitution with the world's elite. Paul Bonacci testified that boys from Nebraska's Boys Town were taken to Offutt Air Force Base, where they were subjected to monarch programming by military officials and used for pornography to blackmail powerful politicians. The names are a who's who of infamy.
Yeah, this is pretty heavy for me. This is like right on my limit. It's a little heavy. And one thing that I'm absolutely worried about is that the USA becomes this guy. And this is what I don't want. Absolutely do not want this.
Thank you for your support.
No, I want that.
I love you.
But is it gonna pop up again? Okay, no. All right. This guy over here on the right side, outside of the pool. Yeah, this is what I don't want the US to be.
All right, on three. When I tell you to pull out a little, pull out a little. 1, 2, 3. Ah, shit. Fucking hesitated. I hesitated, hurt my arm. I hurt my shoulder. Oh, shit. I hesitated and I slipped. You know what? I should just...
I hesitated and I slipped. Oh my gosh, man. That's what I don't want the US to be. I don't want us to hesitate and slip. I just want us to make the right decisions, man. The right decisions. And it's so beautiful that there's places in the world that have different foods, different cultures, different ideas. They treat men and women differently than they do in the United States. But I disagree on certain things, and this is one of the things I disagree with. Stops thinking he's gonna save one cat, and there you go, he gets attacked by a bunch of cats. And they're not the mean cats like those cats. They're just cute cats, you know? So cute. Yeah, and so we're going live every day at 2026, so make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those notifications, and become a member. And just remember that I love you, the Lord loves you, your family loves you. And if the haters around you are hating too much, drinking too much of that haterade, just let that hate roll off of you like water rolls off of a duck's back. All right, y'all. We will see you tomorrow.